Before diving into the lifestyle of Jana Duggar and Stephen Wissmann before their marriage, it's essential to understand the context of their lives, shaped by religious convictions, familial expectations, and the broader Duggar family culture. As part of the famous Duggar family, known for their reality TV show 19 Kids and Counting, and later Counting On, Jana Duggar's life has been very much in the public eye. Similarly, Stephen Wissmann, who eventually married Jana, was also influenced by his family's values and their strong Christian faith. Their lifestyle before marriage was characterized by a series of carefully orchestrated steps that adhered to both the Duggar family's rigid courtship rules and the broader conservative Christian beliefs they both held. These guidelines emphasized chastity, propriety, and family unity. To gain a deeper understanding, it's important to look at the structure of the Duggar family's life, Jana's role within it, and the courtship process with Stephen Wissmann. The Duggar family lifestyle. The Duggars are an evangelical Christian family that follows a very specific and publicized way of life. With a household of 19 children, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar raised their children with firm values that emphasize the importance of family, faith, and obedience. The family follows a hierarchical structure where parents hold the authority and the children are expected to follow strict rules. Courtship, rather than dating, is the primary way the Duggars approach relationships. Their lifestyle centers around strong Christian principles that dictate many aspects of their daily life. Jana Duggar, the eldest daughter, played a pivotal role within the family. As the oldest, she often took on a leadership role, helping to raise her younger siblings. This is not an uncommon practice in large families, especially in the Duggar household, where the children are encouraged to take on responsibilities from a young age. Jana was often seen on the family's reality TV shows doing household chores, cooking, and homeschooling her younger siblings. This hands-on lifestyle instilled a strong sense of duty in her, with her becoming the cornerstone of the Duggar family home life. The Duggar children are homeschooled, which means they are not exposed to the same social dynamics and dating opportunities that children in public schools might experience. Instead of prom nights or casual hangouts with friends, their socializing is structured through family gatherings and church events. This bubble-like environment is designed to keep the children within the fold of their religious community while keeping external influences to a minimum. Another aspect of Duggar life before marriage is the strict rules around relationships. The Duggar children are not allowed to date in the traditional sense. Instead, they follow a courtship model. Courtship is a serious, intentional process that is seen as the path toward marriage. During courtship, the couple typically gets to know each other with the oversight and involvement of the parents. The goal is to make sure the relationship is rooted in faith and family values, and dating is considered a precursor to marriage rather than a casual romantic endeavor. Courtship before marriage. Jana Duggar's experience. Jana Duggar's life before marriage was largely defined by her commitment to family responsibilities and her participation in the Duggar family's unique courtship culture. As the eldest daughter, Jana's life was often spent as a caregiver, helping with household chores, homeschooling, and caring for her younger siblings. In many ways, she was a surrogate mother in the family, and this role kept her busy and prevented her from pursuing romantic relationships in the same way that someone her age might have in a typical family dynamic. Because of the Duggar family's commitment to courtship, Jana was never allowed to casually date as most young people do. Instead, any potential romantic interest had to meet strict guidelines. Courtships were conducted with the aim of getting to know one another in a serious and respectful way, with the ultimate goal of marriage. Courtships were often highly monitored, with parental supervision and oversight at all times. Jana's courtship process with Stephen Wissmann was no different. Though they had known each other for a while before their courtship began, their relationship was formalized when they began to explore the possibility of marriage. The couple adhered to the Duggar family's rules of courtship, which included things like chaperone dates, limited physical contact, no hand-holding or kissing until engagement, and public displays of affection being discouraged. These strict boundaries were meant to keep the couple focused on developing a deep, meaningful connection rather than being distracted by physical attraction or emotions. Courtships within the Duggar family also follow a specific timeline. Relationships are generally short, intentional, and focused on a commitment to marry. This model emphasizes that courtship should not drag on for too long, as the goal is always to reach a point of marriage, and delay can sometimes lead to temptation or confusion. Therefore, Jana and Stephen likely followed this structured approach, getting to know each other in a closely monitored, family-oriented environment. Jana's experience with courtship was also shaped by the unique social dynamics of the Duggar family. While she had been involved in relationships in the past, none had evolved into a formal courtship. Her role within the family dynamic, with all the responsibility it entailed, may have affected her approach to relationships. She had already spent much of her time being a caregiver and helper, and now, when she entered into a relationship with Stephen Wissmann, it was likely with a mindset that family and faith were the most important considerations. The courtship process, though structured and controlled, allowed Jana and Stephen the time and space to deepen their emotional and spiritual connection. Stephen Wissmann's background and role in courtship. Stephen Wissmann, the man who would eventually marry Jana Duggar, came from a similarly conservative Christian family. Like the Duggars, the Wissmanns followed strict religious guidelines that governed their daily lives, and Stephen was raised with an emphasis on faith, family, and a commitment to biblical values. His upbringing likely mirrored that of Jana's, including homeschooling and an emphasis on courtship over dating. Stephen's approach to relationships was guided by his own Christian principles. As with Jana, dating and relationships were not meant to be casual or fleeting, but instead were seen as serious steps toward marriage. His decision to pursue a courtship with Jana Duggar was likely influenced by his respect for the Duggar family's values and their emphasis on faith and family unity. Like Jana, Stephen was also involved in family life and had strong family ties. The Wissmann family is known for its commitment to missionary work and service, values that Stephen likely brought into his relationship with Jana. Before their courtship began, Stephen and Jana had likely spent time in each other's company at various church events or family gatherings, as both families were well integrated within similar Christian communities. This would have given them the opportunity to develop a mutual respect for one another's values, which laid the foundation for their formal courtship. As part of the Duggar courtship process, Stephen and Jana's relationship would have followed a traditional, formal path. This likely included conversations about their future, prayers for discernment, and discussions with their families. During courtship, couples typically don't engage in extended private time together, so their time would have been limited to family functions or chaperoned events, where their relationship could grow in a controlled environment. Stephen and Jana's courtship was likely a period of spiritual and emotional bonding. This is particularly important in the Duggar family context, where the couple's faith is viewed as the cornerstone of any successful marriage. The role of prayer and Bible study during their courtship was probably significant, as they would have spent time discussing their future and their shared commitment to Christian values. The role of family in their courtship. The Duggar family dynamic is built on the importance of family. Relationships, including courtships, are meant to be transparent and public within the family unit. For Jana and Stephen, this meant that their relationship was not just about them, it involved both their families, who played a central role in guiding their relationship. This kind of involvement ensures that any potential match is aligned with the family's values and that the couple's decisions are rooted in faith. Throughout their courtship, Jana and Stephen's families would have been actively involved in the process, offering counsel, prayer, and guidance. The role of the parents in these relationships cannot be overstated. For Jana and Stephen, their parents' approval was paramount, as the Duggar family has emphasized the idea that parents should guide their children in making major life decisions, particularly in matters of marriage. In the Duggar household, the idea of family unity extends beyond the immediate family and into extended family relationships. It's not uncommon for courtships to be public, with family members involved in decision-making. This deep level of family integration is part of the Duggar culture and extends into every area of their children's lives, especially courtships. A lifestyle rooted in faith and family. The lifestyle of Jana Duggar and Stephen Wissmann before marriage was one rooted in strict Christian beliefs, family values, and a strong sense of duty. They both grew up in environments that valued structure, tradition, and the importance of family. Their courtship, like that of many other Duggar children, was characterized by a process of intentional, faith-driven connection, with an emphasis on family involvement and guidance. In this highly controlled environment, their relationship was not just about romantic attraction, but about aligning their lives with their Christian faith and family values. Ultimately, the lifestyle that defined Jana and Stephen's courtship is one that highlights the importance of faith, responsibility, and family. It is a lifestyle that is centered around building a foundation for marriage that goes beyond emotional connection and into the realm of deep spiritual and familial bonds. The Duggar approach to courtship is a deliberate and thoughtful process designed to ensure that any